go to Tucson now. Zach Clark is with us, ESPN Radio Tucson. On the firing of Rich Rodriguez, Zach joins us via Skype. All right, what is the feel in Tucson today about the Rich Rod bombshell?
Well, I think, Brad, that part of it is just whiplash. That this story came to a head about 7:30 last night on a report from USA Today and Dan Wolken, and then, Brad, within 90 minutes, Rich Rodriguez had been fired. I don't think this was something that most of us had on the forefront. There had been rumblings that this, had been going on, and the investigation began back in October. But I don't think we knew the gravity of it until some of the details started to come out. And then all of a sudden, at 7:30 the story comes out, and at 9 o'clock or by 9 o'clock he had been fired. So I think whiplash is the best way to describe it. And then Rich Rodriguez is a polarizing guy, Brad. There's a lot of people in Tucson that are big fans of Rich Rodriguez, and there are a lot of people that aren't. So there are people on both sides of the fence right now. It doesn't seem like really anybody's in the middle. A very interesting time to be in Tucson.
Okay, let's then focus on the decision. From a distance, I see names like Todd Graham and I laugh on one hand. On the other hand, the Daily Star did print his name, and I know Ryan Finley in that group, and they would not be irresponsible to do so. Who are some names that have surfaced early for the U of A head football job to replace Rich Rod?
Yeah, I mean, there's no question that Kevin Sumlin shot to the top of the list as far as desirables. And you guys up in the Valley know this, Brad. He's done a very good job of going from College Station into Phoenix and plucking top kids left and right. He's done a very good job of that. So obviously that would be something that would excite Arizona fans. Would he stay? Could they afford him? I mean, because remember, they got to pay Rich Rodriguez a $7 million buyout or $6 million buyout or whatever it is. And plus, if they lose the lawsuit at $7.5 million, I mean, they're out like $14 million, not even hiring a head coach yet, and Arizona's not flush with cash. The Todd Graham is interesting. If we're looking for like a Band-Aid, I think he would be excellent in that short period of time. Does Arizona want to keep going through coaching changes? Do you want to hire a guy that just got canned in Tempe? I don't know. And I'll throw one more name out there in Butch Jones. Dave Hickey hired him the first time at Central Michigan. Butch Jones out of a job at Tennessee right now. We all know how interesting that coaching search became. But There are some names out there as far as how it plays out. It'll be very interesting to see because all the guys that are still out there need jobs, and I think Arizona's the only one left. You throw Les Miles' name in there. I'll give you one more. Alex Grinch, he's the defensive coordinator at Washington State, considered to be maybe the best coordinator in the conference. I think he would be an interesting conversation piece as well.
Before I let you go, so 5 bowl games in Rich Rod's run. What's the legacy?
Yeah, it's a great question, and obviously time is really going to be the indicator here. You look at he went 43-35 in 6 seasons at Arizona. It's not easy to win football games here in Tucson. I will point out, though, that in 54 conference games, he only won 24 of them. 5 bowl games, they went 3-2. But I think the legacy will end up being somewhat similar to what it was with Mike Stoops, in that you take a football program that had fallen on hard times, you improve them, you get them to the summit, and then you stall out and can go no further. It felt like Arizona had hit somewhat of a wall, though I guess with Khalil Tate and his abilities, we don't know what Arizona has next season. I mean, they could be phenomenal, they could be questionable. But I do think people will wonder what if, after that 2014 season, if they could have kept some momentum. And then we also will see how much more we learn about Rich in the next coming days, because, look, I don't claim to know him really well, but some of these allegations have caught me off guard. But I guess you don't know somebody until you know them.
Sure. Good way to put it. Good stuff there, Zach. Appreciate you jumping on board with us. Thanks.
My pleasure. Thanks for the invite.